You've seen them, right? Those viral AI documentaries. They pop up in your feed and they feel like this terrifying, super high-budget glimpse into the future. But what if I told you they're not some massive blockbuster production? Nope. They're actually built on a surprisingly simple and repeatable playbook. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and deconstruct that exact formula. So, what's the secret? How do they do it? Well, it's not a massive budget or some fancy Hollywood studio. It's a formula, a really carefully designed blueprint. Exactly. This is a blueprint that's engineered to make you feel a certain way about the future. And trust me, once we break it down, you are going to start seeing this pattern absolutely everywhere. Okay, first up, let's talk about the overall blueprint. The whole style is designed to feel cinematic, kind of dark, and really, really futuristic. It's also what's known as a faceless production style, which just means it relies completely on stock footage and graphics instead of having a host on screen. It all starts with the hook. The first 60 seconds are all about overwhelming you and getting you intrigued with these abstract but super high-impact visuals. You know the ones. Close-ups of robotic eyes, glowing city networks, floods of binary code. These images don't really tell a story just yet. Their only job is to set this dramatic, high-stakes tone and make you feel like you're about to witness something absolutely monumental. So once they've got your attention, how do they actually build the story? Well, it all comes down to a very specific list of visual ingredients. And this stuff isn't random. Every single shot is chosen for a reason. First, you will always see these huge, sweeping drone shots of massive automated factories. These are here to establish a sense of just immense scale and this unstoppable march of automation. It makes the whole concept feel enormous and kind of impersonal. Next up, they take you inside the quote-unquote brain of the operation. You get these endless hallways of high-tech server rooms just blinking with blue and white lights. This is basically the visual shorthand for the AI itself, this powerful, unseen intelligence that's driving everything. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, the human element. The formula almost always calls for this constant contrast. You'll see clips of people looking worried or confused, and then you'll see clips of people happily and successfully using technology. This creates an immediate visual tension, right? The fear of the unknown versus the promise of progress. And finally, to make these really abstract ideas like machine learning feel real, they use these beautiful, complex visuals of neural networks and data just flowing like rivers of light. It takes something you can't physically see and gives it a tangible, almost living form. But it's not just about the footage. Oh no. The formula gets incredibly specific when it comes to numbers and data. To make a number feel important, you can't just say it. It has to be animated. And yep, you guessed it, there's a rigid formula for that too. So let's take a year like 2030 or some other huge number. The blueprint is super strict about this. That data point can't just be spoken. No way. It has to be an event for your eyes and for your ears. And the process is always this exact same three-part punch. 1, you hear the number. 2, you see it explode onto the screen in big, bold text. And 3, you hear that sharp digital sound effect. It's like this multi-sensory attack designed to bypass your critical thinking and just drill that one piece of data directly into your memory. Okay, now we get to the secret sauce, post-production. This is where all the raw ingredients get processed to create that signature cinematic finish that makes everything look and feel so expensive. The single biggest trick is the color grade. You know, standard stock footage can look pretty flat, but by applying what's called a teal and orange color grade, the colors instantly pop. They become rich and high contrast. It's a technique used in countless Hollywood blockbusters to create that dramatic, cinematic mood. And this right here shows you that instant transformation perfectly. So on top of the color, there's a specific set of effects that get layered on. You've got digital glitch transitions to reinforce the whole tech theme, while motion blur makes the cuts feel faster and more dynamic. And finally, the classic Ken Burns effect, that slow, dramatic zoom you see on still images, is used constantly to add a sense of life and importance, even when nothing is actually moving. And believe it or not, even the on-screen text follows a strict formula. The style is always bold, heavy, and high contrast, usually white and yellow, and placed right in the lower middle part of the screen. The goal here isn't just to be readable, it's to make every single caption feel like an undeniable, authoritative declaration of fact. But what you see is only half the experience. Seriously, the most powerful manipulation is often happening in what you hear. The The soundscape is meticulously, carefully designed to guide your emotions. The audio formula is layered. In the background, there is always a deep cinematic suspense track just kind of bubbling beneath the surface. For moments of tension, a subtle heartbeat sound effect gets faded in. When that is being talked about, you'll hear those little typewriter clicks. And to really drive a final point home, there's a deep sub-bass boom that gives everything a sense of finality and weight. So here's the crucial takeaway. Sound really is half the experience. Without this carefully constructed soundscape, all those visuals would lose so much of their power. The audio is what tells you whether you should feel anxious or inspired or deeply, deeply concerned. All right, let's put all the pieces together. These aren't just individual tricks being thrown at a wall. When you combine them, they create this powerful and incredibly persuasive system, a formula that's designed for one thing and one thing only: impact. The visuals, the animations, the cinematic effects, and that emotional sound design, they all work together with incredible precision. This is not just a collection of cool tricks. It's a system that's been built to construct a very specific and very powerful narrative about our future with technology. So now that you know the formula, I want to leave you with a final thought. The next time you see one of these AI documentaries, ask yourself, is this powerful formula being used to clarify a really complex topic? Or is it just being used to make a potential future look incredibly and maybe even deceptively cinematic?